Hello everyone, I'm Ryan Matlock, the entrepreneur. Welcome to Fantastic Fridays, the show where I review a random holiday every week and somehow manage to choose the most controversial holidays out there. 2 weeks ago in my meningitis video, I said, I don't believe the government should be handling my health care. To all you left-leaning viewers, you'll have to wait until my economy video, which will be released in the distant future. Little did I know, 2 weeks later, on May 8th, it would be Free Trade Day. Now, it's no secret that I compete in speech and debate. I've talked about it multiple times. And incidentally, the debate topic this year was freedom versus equity in the realm of economics. In a lot of cases, it was basically capitalism versus socialism. How convenient. I've spent an entire semester listening to arguments from both sides, studying all kinds of societies and economies. So in honor of Free Trade Day, I now present an economy lesson with Ryan. Economy? Ryan, don't get all boring with us, please. Trust me, the economy is anything but boring. The economy brought you the device you're using to watch this video. The economy brought you the website this video is uploaded to. It also brought me the equipment used to film this video. It even made things we take for granted. For example, the pencil. No one person can really make a pencil. You have to have the graphite in the middle. You have to have the wood taken from trees, which are chopped down by people who chop down trees. No one person can make the pencil, but rather hundreds, if not thousands of people working in an economy together to gather all the necessary components to make the pencil. And that's one reason that knowing which economies work and which ones don't is important. If the economy doesn't work, we can't have pencils. It's economics. So again, I present an economy lesson with Ryan. Economy, more like econo free, am I right? To start off, it's important to establish the first rule of economics that I have made up. First rule of economics: everything goes back to incentive. A business-driven society is built upon the decisions of those who participate in it. Because of that, the economy is reflected by what people do, and what people do is reflected by whether they have an incentive to do it. Because it's the very first and most important principle, I'll say it again, everything goes back to incentive. Now that we've established that everything goes back to incentive, let's look at how, at least I think, free trade helps an economy. In case you don't know, free trade is when people in an economy are given freedom to conduct their business in the way they see fit. Government does not interfere unless it's in order to protect your rights. Joey wants to trade with Timmy an apple for an orange? Great! Joey wants to steal Timmy's apple? Not great. This is a great economy because it's a competitive one. Everyone has to find new and better ways to do business in order to, do business. This gives everyone an incentive to create bigger and better things, which in turn makes society better. The reason we have iPhones is because Apple said, alright, how can we make flip phones better? And the reason we have the Samsung Galaxy is because Samsung said, alright guys, how can we one-up Apple? But of course, no system is perfect. Many opponents of capitalism or free trade point to the individuals who do not succeed. Free trade is in fact a very competitive economy, which they say, of course, leads to winners and losers. So when it comes to people who aren't doing so well in the economy, we have two choices. Either we continue with freedom or we have the government intervene. Interventionism is when the government comes in and says, hey, you, the guy who lost his job and can't feed himself. I'd like to help. So the government uses tax dollars to fund your necessities until you get back into business. But Ronald Reagan pointed out the 10 scariest words in history as being, hi, I'm from the government and I'm here to help. And here's why he's right. Incentive. It all goes back to what someone will do when you place them in a specific situation. So you have Tom, who lost his job and can instantly be given assistance by the government. As long as he doesn't have a job, they will continue to assist him. Unfortunately, giving someone everything they need hardly provides an incentive to give that up and, get back to work. If you're fine with living off a minimal income in a small apartment playing Minecraft all day, then you're good. The bare minimum to get by doesn't sound so bad. Just look at the guy who's living off of welfare on the beach, eating lobster and shrimp every day for the rest of his life, because he's perfectly okay with doing so and has no intention to get a job. I'm talking to you, Jason Greenslate. This is the guy I'm going to be paying taxes for soon. Now, I'm not saying that everyone's a beach bum with no work ethic, but the fact is that a lot of people would and do choose to live this way. Now, let's look at this from another angle. Say the government backs off, stops providing welfare and food stamps. The government lowers taxes because they don't need to provide the welfare, so they don't need to take the money in the first place. Now, Now that people have more of their own money to spend, institutions such as charities and soup kitchens can thrive all the more. There's a difference between welfare and charities, the difference being that charities are controlled. If they notice that Jason Greenslate keeps coming in and taking advantage of their charity without any attempt to work for himself, they have every right to refuse charity to him. This forces the unemployed to actively seek out jobs, knowing full well that charity won't necessarily last forever. The other advantage of charity over welfare is that with welfare, if you become employed in any way, they will say, "Oh, you're employed now. Now that you have an income, we can take away all your benefits." With charity, if you get a job but it's not cutting everything, the charity will still help you out. They can continue to assist you until you get the required raise in pay. Second of all, consider this. Americans pay an average of 1/4 of their income in taxes. If people have more of their own money to spend, then they're likely to spend more when it comes to how much they put towards charitable donations. If you think people are being stingy when it comes to charity, it might be because the government is taking a whole 1/4 of their income, sometimes 1/3. Lower the amount of taxes and you can bet that with the added income that more income will be going to charity as a result. And society will be alright. You'll never get betrayed with free trade. That's not a pun, that's more like a new song. Hey, I don't know about you, but I think free trade is awesome. I don't know about you, but I think that at the end of the day, free trade comes up a winner. But you know, if you completely disagree with me, that's what the comment section is for. I'll get them to start a comment debate, and then the added comments in the comment section will make it so that YouTube is more likely to promote my video across YouTube. Economy, more like economy. Oh, is the video still recording? Oh. When commenting, please remember to stay classy. Seriously though, free trade is pretty cool. Hey guys, hope you enjoyed this video. Let me know whether you like the informational videos more or the fun videos more. Basically, the difference between this and the World Health Organization said the disease mainly affects young people between ages of 1 and 30 in the African meningitis belt where large outbreaks are common versus this. Strawberry Day. Thanks, Ryan. No problem, Mr. Strawberry. Also, last week someone commented on the video saying, "Hey Ryan, I loved your video, you should make a video about homeschooling." And I absolutely love getting comments like that. In fact, there is an underappreciated discussion page on my YouTube channel. So head on over there and we'll make that the best hangout ever. Returning to more lighthearted and less controversial topics next week. Communist economy? More like communist he-conning me. Obamacare? More like yo mama's hair. It's really pretty. I'm done.